A long, long time ago, there was a lonely old woman who wanted a child very much, but she had no husband or family. She went to a witch to get her wish. The witch gave her a magic flower seed and told her to plant it in her garden and take good care of it. The old woman went home and followed the witch's instructions, planted the flower seed in her garden, watered it and sang to it every day. Some time later, a beautiful flower grew in the garden, with petals like bells. The old woman was so surprised that she blew gently on the petals, and the flower opened, and inside lay a little girl who was only as big as her thumb. So the old woman called her Thumbelina. The old woman took Thumbelina as her own daughter and made her a little bed, with a nutshell for a mattress and a rose petal for a quilt. Thumbelina was very happy, and she played, sang and danced with the flowers and animals every day. One day, Thumbelina was sleeping when an ugly frog jumped in the window and saw her. The frog thought Thumbelina was very cute and wanted to take her away to play with his son. The frog carefully placed Thumbelina and her crib on a water lily leaf, then jumped into the pond and called his son to come see them. When Thumbelina woke up, she was so frightened that she cried out when she realized she was in the water and surrounded by frogs. Fortunately, Thumbelina's cries attracted some friendly fish who saw her plight and decided to help her. They broke the stem of a water lily leaf with their teeth and let Thumbelina float away with the current. The frogs found out and jumped into the water after her, but they were too fat to swim fast and were soon left behind. Thumbelina thanks the fish, but she also worries about where she will float. Thumbelina drifted to a riverbank where she saw a beautiful butterfly, and she begged it to take her away. The butterfly agreed and tied itself to Thumbelina's crib with a thread of grass, and then flew up and carried Thumbelina through the air. Thumbelina was very happy. She saw many beautiful landscapes and met many wonderful creatures. Thumbelina's adventures were not over, however, and she was in danger again. A big bird suddenly fell from the sky, grabbed Thumbelina, and carried her to a tall tree, where it was going to eat her. Terrified, Thumbelina begged the bird to let her go, but the bird ignored her, put her in its nest, and flew away to find other food. Thumbelina waited for a long time in the bird's nest, but no one came to save her. She felt so helpless that she missed her mother, her friends, and her garden. She thought that if she hadn't left home, she wouldn't be in so much trouble. She wished that she could have a home that really belonged to her, a home with love and warmth. She touched her heart with her little hand and felt a touch of warmth. Little did she know, it was a magic heart that would make her wish come true. Just then, a beautiful fairy flew to Thumbelina's side. She was Thumbelina's guardian angel and heard Thumbelina's wish and came to help her. She told Thumbelina that she was no ordinary person, that she was a descendant of fairies, and that she had a magical heart that could make her dreams come true. She said that she would take Thumbelina to Fairyland, where there were many fairies like her, and where she could find her own home, her own love, and her own happiness. Thumbelina was so surprised and touched that she couldn't wait to follow the fairy to Fairyland. Thumbelina and the fairies flew to Fairyland, a place of wonder and beauty, with lots of colorful flowers, cute animals, and happy little fairies. Thumbelina was warmly welcomed by the fairies, who treated her as their sister and made her a beautiful fairy dress, a crown of shining flowers, and a pair of light wings. Thumbelina was so happy that she felt she had finally found her home. Thumbelina lives a happy life in Fairyland, where she plays, sings and dances with the fairies every day, and learns some fairy magic to make flowers bloom, animals obey, and the wind and clouds change. She also meets a handsome young prince, the ruler of Fairyland, who falls in love with Thumbelina at first sight and asks her to marry him. Thumbelina also fell in love with him, agreed to his proposal. They held a grand wedding. All the fairies came to congratulate them. They lived happily ever after, during which he often came home to visit his mother, who was very happy not only that Thumbelina returned safely, but also met more fairy friends, so that her life was never lonely again, and from then on, Thumbelina lived a happy and fulfilling life.